Hey everyone, welcome back to season 2 of Memes of the Week. I just want to lead this episode off with thanking you guys for hanging out and listening to the show during the break. We've been posting some of our either previously worked on shows or for the case of the stream, not nearly as tightly edited as I normally put out. Thank you guys for just hanging out and continuing to support the show. Word of mouth is awesome. The last couple of months have been insane. It's been the highest numbers that we've been doing since we started the show, and that's really crazy to see. And so I just wanted to step in before we start this episode and say, hey, thanks. Because once we get into this episode, I don't really want to stop it. It's a good one. And so, I just wanted to step in and say, hey, thank you guys. We really appreciate it. And I'm glad to start getting these sounds back out into the world again, because it's real cool stuff coming down the pipe. Yeah, so we have a trailer for the show of Monsters and Mixed Successes coming up for you in just a second, and then the episode will start proper. So thanks for being around, and we hope you enjoy. See ya.
The small town of Pharaoh is strange, filled with monsters, magic, and entities unknown to all but a few residents. Join local priest Leviathan Bell.
Any threat to the divine and to this town is to be taken care of, and that's my duty.
Ex-monster hunter Alex Palmer.
I'm not paranoid enough to stop being curious. Fine. He takes the hand. Oh shit, I'm in over my head.
And haunted archivist Ananil Malice.
It's Anna's turn to have a bad day. Opening his little satchel, and he's taking his notebook out, and he's opening it to the page where he sketched the boulder go.
As they step up to try their best to protect their town and its people from entities that want to lay claim over it. Every other Wednesday, come take a seat at our table, where there are monsters aplenty.
Where these eyes should be are just concave pits of flat flesh.
We're all a little bit silly.
Awkward moment when you just want to read some books and then your friends start having a fight about your free will.
And our characters are very, very sad.
I really appreciated and cherished having friends.
Of Monsters and Mixed Successes is available on YouTube and most podcasting platforms.
And as you raise your hand to start to do this magic, he shoots you. Yes.
Oh no.
Memester of the Week contains fantasy violence, drug use, and horror elements. A list of topics, themes, and subjects featured in this episode will be included in the description. If you ever feel unsafe or suicidal, please call your local crisis center, emergency services, or national hotline. A link to an international list of crisis hotlines is listed in the description below. And remember, you matter. You see green leaves and feel bark beneath your feet as you and your retinue are moving through the wild. It's been 3 months since you left Santa Lucia with Percha. So what does Palmer, Thorn of Oberon, look like now as the leader of the Wild Hunt?
honestly, what I had originally pictured was not what you were expecting, which is just like the cave person. Might as well not even be wearing clothes. Like, I was actually picturing something more along the lines of like a uniform. Like, I think because the immediate like association that you would have with like the Fae and all that stuff would be just like sort of wild and naturey stuff, very like natural looking. But if the society has a hierarchy, which it does, and like clearly that we saw in previous interactions that there's still an element of like respect and I don't know how to put it, like a position that you're holding, like a job that is important. I think anytime society creates those kind of structures, having a set way to look to be recognizable as that position pretty much always comes along with it. So even though it doesn't seem very Fey wild to say I think she's wearing like a military style uniform, I am kind of picturing something that is maybe a little bit more sleek and a little bit more refined. Can't say I have it like drawn out on a sheet of paper, but something that from a glance you would know in this society that this person is holding an important position.
Okay. Well, I mean, let's think about what that would look like. Would that be like pants and a jacket, or at least like a shirt?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if you're thinking like something that if you're a field officer, you're not gonna be wearing a dress or a skirt. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think what this could look like would be like tighter pants that are leaves that have been like gigantic leaves that have been sewn together to fit properly.
Well, she's not Thumbelina. Like, I am thinking that this is like, I think there's too much of a stereotype of like, they don't have like tools or cloths, like everything they just yank out of a tree and put some thread through. I feel like if there is this much organization, that there is like a city and there are roles and jobs and
I mean, we've also established that there is some connections and interactions with like the outside world, so it's not like any of these things would be like unavailable to the Feywild. Okay, I mean, I'm almost imagining like jeans and a tank top, but then like an overcoat or something that has like holes in the back for Palmer's wings.
Movie about that girl that gets real small. Damn it. No. What's that one animated movie? Animated movie
where the girl gets real small.
Where the girl gets real small. Strange Magic? Wait, no, that's not right. Is it Strange Magic? Yeah, it is Strange Magic. No? Epic? Is this film called Epic?
There was a movie called Epic.
That's an unfortunate name.
Yeah, it sucks.
Isn't that the one with the dude and the queen and everybody simping over their relationship? Yeah, this is it. Okay, well, this is quite literally a leaf because they're tiny people, so didn't help my case, but...
I like the shoulder pauldrons.
Are you looking at it? Are you looking at the dude?
Yeah, the guy who like looks like a knight and he has a katana.
Like, okay, again, it didn't serve my purpose because it is literally a leaf, but it is also in like structure and form. It is clearly a high-ranking field officer. It's practical but noticeably ornate.
Yeah, I like that a lot, honestly.
Ronan. His name is Ronan. What a name.
Badass name for this character.
Yeah. It's interesting that they went with this because it's like they clearly wanted to be like, they're little nature fairies, so of course they make their clothes out of leaves. But then whatever it is on top that he's wearing, that is just straight up like cloth. And also his pants are just cloth.
I like this idea from this like military perspective, especially of now Palmer has armor. She's never needed armor in the first place, but now she has like some visible armor that kind of marks her as like, oh, that's the Thorn. That's the person who leads the Wild Hunt. And so having like these shoulder pauldrons and greaves and arm bracers on top of her normal fit.
I mean, I wouldn't say that necessarily all of that is needed. I think you're also looking at like screenshots of him from when he's literally in like a battle in the movie, which I think is a different scenario. But like,
Fair.
I think it just comes with the, like, if you're going to be recognizably important, it means you could also be targeted. So it's more just like having a somewhat sturdier base. You're not just gonna walk around being recognizable and not wearing anything that's gonna protect you, but not like a suit of armor.
Yeah, no, like just some pieces of armor, and then I do love a long coat, especially a sleeveless long coat. That shit's fire. Like,
okay. When it comes to stuff like this, I am hesitant to ever nail design elements down. I feel like other people are so much better than that I am. So I just give this is what the form and function. This is what the reason that it would look this way.
yeah, why
The actual what it looks like. I don't know.
No, I like that though.
That is the idea.
So Palmer's moving through, has a baller ass long coat now, sleeveless. Hey man, if you won't make the choice, I'll make the choice for you. She looks fucking fire.
Sure.
I'll push you over that finish line for sure.
Dogs out.
Dogs out. This is your
They're
last
not
chance.
out. They're not out.
This is your last chance
They're
on
not
making
out.
a canon.
I've been begging from the start. No dogs.
A nice sensible shoe.
Yeah.
Palmer, you're moving through this forest. You're returning from a task that Oberon sent Palmer to do. Oberon's Thorn is functionally the right hand and doing like the fixing and going ons of whatever Oberon can't do at the time in the Feywild. Territorial issues, counseling and disagreements, helping with judgments being made by the court. What is it that you are coming from?
2 different groups, like 2 different communities. I don't know if they're under our jurisdiction or not, that had sort of like a territory dispute. So like one was pushing too far into another's territory and things were getting heated. So they, to avoid a internal conflict, people from the court had to go and like settle it. Be like, your boundary of territory is here, and if I hear any more whinging or pushing, we'll be back with more manpower to enforce it.
So yeah, that is an interesting question. So like, there's this territorial dispute, and these 2 groups are pushing in. I think it would be like maybe a group of like Tengu are starting.
Okay.
Yeah, man, like, let's talk about this. This is fucking interesting, and this is world building for the Feywild. A group of like Tengu are starting to take food from the territory that the goblins typically inhabit and work inside of. How do you approach those discussions? Obviously, like, you're taking some of the Wild Hunt with you because that is just kind of the nature of the job. But like, I guess my curiosity here is, less the like what, because like we've said what happens functionally, but like the how does Palmer like approach solving that kind of problem?
Spitballing, but let's say that the Tengu side, their territory has they've lost some ground due to human expansion, and that's why they're ending up pushing into areas that aren't theirs anymore, because they're losing resources. Whatever it is a Tengu needs to survive. I don't know, alcohol is all I pictured, but sure. And they're pushing into territory that's not theirs, but they can't just be, you can't just withhold resources from them, because they would struggle to survive. So the solution was a promise to cultivate more land on the other side of the goblin territory that maybe they couldn't really fully utilize because they don't have the technology. This is maybe like unlivable land on one side of them. And so we, as basically the government, like, we'll clear this land, we'll make it usable so that they can expand in this direction, and the goblins can also expand in the other direction, so nobody's actually losing any land.
Okay. I like that. I think that that's a very interesting decision to make.
It's very easy to be like, Wild Hunt, I'm cool, and I go kill monsters because that's cool, but I think it would be vastly more interesting to essentially just be a public servant.
I love that you think that, because I also think that that's wildly more interesting than just being like, yeah, I kill things or whatever. Like, this is much cooler to me.
I think it also plays into the idea of making sure that she's settled down, because if her being unmanageable was part of the reason of why she was banished in the first place, they're not going to put her in a position of power where her job is to rampage.
Yeah.
But I also don't think she is bitter or upset about it. I don't think she's begrudgingly doing it, because I think she's just satisfied enough to be back. I think everybody, no matter if you are a chaotic fantasy creature, I think everybody appreciates having a purpose. I would like to point out the fact that the only thing that I pre-prepared is that I wanted for her to be in a uniform.
That's awesome. I love that.
Everything else I'm making up on the spot.
I love that for us. You're coming back from this dispute between these Tengu and these goblins, and resolving it not by strong-arming any one group or anything like that, but instead seeking to find a place where you, both in like your physical self and then you, the like organizational you, can be of use and be helpful to everyone involved. And I think that that's really interesting. I like that idea of you choosing to serve as both something you can do as yourself, and then also something you can do as like the organizational body that you are a part of, and finding your solutions to that issue. I think you finally make your way back to the great tree. You've been moving along through its branches, and for some of it you did take the tram car, our wooden tram cars. They have their paths lit by will-o'-wisps. I think that there's a will-o'-wisp that travels with you to just like help lead the way.
Yeah, like a little GPS system.
Yeah, what do you call them?
Oh, come on. Nod.
Okay, their name's Nod. And and what color are they?
Aren't they all blue? Isn't that like the thing? I don't know.
Can be, man. They can be different colors. This is a fucking fictional world that we're making up.
I don't know anything about will-o'-wisp. And if I Google it, it's just gonna be that Disney movie.
Or it's gonna be the Pokemon movie.
See? Oh, no, actually, there's just a lot of different old art, and they all are kind of blue.
So I guess they're blue. Well, you have a blue will-o-wisp named Nod that travels with you and helps you find
listen!
your way. And he has a very annoying voice. But yeah, I think you finally make your way back to the central tree because Oberon wants to speak to you. As you get back, you're greeted near the entrance to the tree by Mar, your friend. He has just like very like long, shaggy, dark hair. Typically is seen wearing like an approximation of a leather jacket and jeans, and just goes, "Oh, hey, Balmer, it's good to see that you're back."
Not his voice.
That's exactly what his voice was. You can
wasn't.
Check the tapes, Sarah.
Roll the tapes that were
Roll them
destroyed
back.
in the IT technical failure. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I'm assuming he's just following in stride and we are heading. Wait, right? Is he coming with me?
Yeah, Oberon wants to talk to you now that you're back. Some things happened while you were away, and I think that he wants your opinion on something.
I would hope that it's more interesting than completing Tengu.
I think you're going to be a little surprised. And he'll walk you in. You go down some like side alleys and streets, walking within the tree, and eventually you come to the core, the circular chamber that Oberon has that kind of looks out over like a whole back half of the tree is just open at this part, and it looks out over the rest of the Feywild. And you come to Oberon's throne room where he sits with his blue flamed self and the crown of fire just gently floating above his head. And he says,
Oh, Palmer, thank you for coming back. Thank you, Mar, for finding her for me. How was everything with the Tengu?
We reached an arrangement, and I will dispatch some teams to clear land on the other side of the goblins.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, so hopefully that will help with being able to grow food or something to help
grow food
Yeah,
or something.
he's very knowledgeable.
My brain sucks.
He's a very well-read.
He's a well-read, well-spoken, doesn't have a brain full of rats.
Yeah, I mean, he can if he wants to. That's what we're here for. He can be full of rats.
God. No, that's the Rat King. He lives down the street.
Are they buds? Are they drinking buddies? Cool.
Yeah. You're gonna ask a question. I'm just gonna be like, sure.
You'd be like, no, they're drinking enemies.
And they're drinking foes.
They drink in the same bar every day or every week in the same day and never talk to each other. They just glare at each other from across the room.
But they're constantly trying to outdrink each other, and it's always a tie.
Because they don't get drunk. Because the bartender is feeding them fake alcohol.
Interesting. So now we've created a world where the bartender is like, I'm just going to give you whatever, man.
Bartender has seen too many fights and has been diluting their alcohol ever since.
Giving them placebos
until they forget
hundreds
until
of
they
years.
forget what the taste of alcohol is, and they think that it's just this. And they're gonna go out into the real world, and someone's gonna offer them a glass of water, and they're gonna be like, "Wow, you guys just drink in the middle of the day?
This shit is strong, amazing. That's a real strong zero.
No. Strong nothing.
Strong nothing. This is a nightmare.
That's all canon.
It's all canon now.
I think that's a wonderful solution to a significant issue. While you were away, we had an incident.
He's going to walk you and Mar along a series of like bookshelves that kind of line the outside of the room. Go to a door that's on the right side of the room and start going down some stairs and kind of just leading you down.
Something happened in the human world while you were away, and I had some friends look into it for me. And what we discovered was humans had been capturing Fae and using them in experiments. One of the humans got away, and thankfully the Fae that were there are shaken up but not harmed.
Okay. How did...
And we also have some new friends.
And I think at that moment you see the body of a monkey with deer antlers.
Okay.
And a lizard snout and face essentially come up to Oberon and climb up on his shoulder and start to just pat his head as if he's looking for mites in what would be his hair.
Well, that should go in a cage.
I don't agree with you on
that. As it opens its alligator jaws and slowly clamps them around his head.
He reaches up and gently pets the snout of this creature.
These chimeras are now Fae, just like you and I. And although the method that they were created is unfortunate, they deserve the same respect.
All due respect to you, that remains to be seen. We don't know what else was included in their creation.
Well, that's where you're wrong.
Oberon will take you over and has fully walked you down through this hallway and will open up a door. You guys will walk into a small apartment where you see a human.
Oh, I forgot how ugly they are. I don't.
You're not really so much to look at yourself.
I don't say that. Time rewinds. What's he doing? What does this person look like? What is their state of being?
So this is a woman with dark purple eyes who functionally is just wearing jeans and a jacket, and you can see Oberon has created a fully furnished apartment essentially to live in for this person. And you see some long robes that are draped over a couch. And this person looks over at you and says, "Can I leave yet?"
I was just about to ask if the door was seemingly locked when we came in.
Yeah, I think at walking up, the door wasn't there.
I see.
For a moment. And then it appeared as Oberon reached for it, opened up, and as you guys walk in, it turns just into a wall. This is
anti-Ethel stuff.
Yeah.
Topical. I guess the first thing she's gonna do is just sort of assess this person further, a threat level, essentially.
Okay. I think just generally, especially knowing Oberon, you would know that this creature is not a threat to you right now. And as you're looking over this person who's in front of you, you see a sapphire blue bangle that is attached to the wrist. And it is the exact same color as Oberon's flame.
Okay, and if I have a long history with him, I would know what that is, and I'm assuming it's some sort of shackle.
Yeah, it's something that could be used either to indicate you are a friend or you are someone I have power over, essentially. And considering this person's like situation, you'd be inclined to believe the latter.
Sure. Okay. I'm not going to address them directly, but I'm just going to continue the conversation with him. Is this the one of the experimenting ones?
Yes, our friends happened to be able to help capture this alchemist who was experimenting on our people.
Are they responsible for... And she's just going to gesture at the monkey.
I think they would speak up and be like, yes, that's part of my work. Honestly, it's a pretty impressive feat if I say so myself.
You are quite unnatural.
Super even.
See, if you had any sense and if you knew anything about the world around you, you would know that that is an insult.
It ran for 15 seasons. I don't know why.
An insult, even with the context.
An insult.
What do you intend to do with it? Oh, I'm sorry, not you. And I turn to Oberon and I say it again, but making it clear that what she's talking about is what are we going to do with this weirdo human?
Well, as you well know, I have authority over the Fae because I was named such. Generally, our people are governed by me or sometimes you, depending on the situation that we need. We don't normally imprison people. We will take some of their power, send them on a trial to learn a lesson, assign them something to do to help our people or our friends. The only people who have ever been put to death among us have been those who would be harmful to our friends or to us. But this is an interesting question. This person is here and can't do anything anymore. However, they have harmed our people and they have hurt innocent creatures as well. But they are not Fae. So what would you have?
I get that this is supposed to be a moral dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
It's certainly being posed at the wrong character. Trying to see if there is any reasonable angle in which to approach this, in which she would not just recommend killing it. You know, even if the approach is we have this character who is bonded and spent a lot of time with humans, does not mean that they're gonna show any mercy in situations that are not like relevant to them, or rather people that are not relevant to them or mean anything to them.
Yeah. Let me tag on to this real quick, because I think there's more information that can be given to you that might affect that decision.
I'll reply at least.
Not at all trying to influence your decision by any means.
Respectfully, is this not ultimately your decision?
Yes, it is. But one day it might not be. And I would like to know what my thorn thinks.
This is a test. Oh no.
And I think Oberon goes over and picks up some papers, just like fully ignoring this alchemist. I think even to the point of like waving a hand, and you see like a shimmer of blue fire kind of come across the room and then clear, but like you can no longer hear this person, and you know that like your conversation is also not being overheard.
My initial reaction is, of course, that they are too much of a risk to be left alive. However, I do have the experience in the human world to know that missing people can cause disturbances, especially if they are never to return. But that being said, we couldn't just let her go back with the information that she has. So I believe the soundest option would be to sustain her as you are now until her loyalties can either be changed or affirmed.
I see.
It is not unheard of for us to send creatures out to, let's say, mislead them into believing that a person has perished through an accident of their own doing. If we are concerned that the reaction to this person's disappearance may be a threat, I think there are plenty of ways to go around it. But until we know more about this person's motives, what they knew before coming here that pushed them in our direction, it would be too much of a waste to let them perish without knowing that first.
I think that this human knows too much about us and our people.
And he has some papers that he had picked up earlier, and he gives them to you. And you see at the top of the page in like a script, this is like a brand on this paper. There's an owl that has been nestled in thorns and thistles, and the words "Et Gloria Lamia" written in a script beneath it. And Oberon says, somehow they know of Lilith, and that is a interesting position for us to be in. You know that Lilith is functionally like the progenitor of the Fae. There were people, and then Lilith existed, and Lilith, through her magic, gave people and animals a way to be more naturally themselves. And some of that reflected in a sense of grace and charity, and some of that reflected in a monstrosity of them. But this is something that the Fae share among themselves. Lilith was the first Fae and the first queen of the Fae. And so this is not like something that is human knowledge for humans to play with.
These humans who experiment on us, they call themselves her children.
That can't be true.
No, it can't. What I want to know is, how do they know about her? And what do they want?
Do you intend to interrogate the information out?
I think that's why I have a thorn.
Do the dirty work.
I want you to talk to her. I do want you to only talk to her.
I am pretty familiar with human stubbornness. I doubt she'll be more cooperative with me.
I understand that. But I think that you are more than picking a fight. I have faith that you can figure something out without having to come to blows.
And I think with that, Oberon is going to like make the door reappear. And Mar is just here being a guy is like, shit.
Oh, he was here for all that?
He's been here the whole time.
Just sitting in the corner.
He expressly asks you not to hurt them, and then makes a door appear and lowers that silencing barrier and says, good luck.
Oh boy.
I trust you.
And Oberon and Mar walk out, and you are in this space with this person.
I guess first things first, I would just continue looking at the papers that I was given. If there's anything that I can discern.
Yeah, roll investigate a mystery. Nope.
Ah, it's encrypted.
What does that mean? Oh, you got a 4. I'm not going to take that as you don't learn anything because Palmer can read, and that's not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's encrypted, or maybe it's code, or I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you some stuff, but I'm going to take a hard move against you as well.
Should I not mark experience?
No, go ahead and mark experience. This is a failure. Don't worry, I have that hard move cooking.
Okay.
Got it locked and loaded. Yeah, as you look over these notes, you are reading this research on the creation of these chimeras, and you see specifically that this is titled like animal testing. Experiments 256 to 608. And it just like goes through the list of like who was there, like what their resources were. Essentially, you see a red dragon being mentioned. You see a few pixies being mentioned. You see mention of a guy who has a shark for a hand being there. You see the list of what they refer to as resources, and then also just like a list of animals that they were experimenting on: chimpanzees, monkeys, rabbits, small dogs, things like that, and documenting the process and the methodology of like figuring out like, okay, well, we have the ability to kind of graft some of this energy onto these other creatures, and using both like medicinal science and magic, using alchemy, being able to like create these amalgamations, and the mention of like one particular specimen that had aspects of basilisk and dark watcher in addition to like other animal parts. All of these things kind of coming together, and the specific like question of control and like how well controlled can they be, and a lot of it was diffused through like chemicals into a like bloodstream. So something is put in their food that is in their bloodstream that reacts to commands from specific people using specific magic. And you find out that because of that, they were able to crack the code on not needing a physical symbol to be on the body of a creature anymore, or having it be in the bloodstream. They figured out a way to do a permanent control of these creatures, but only on a handful of their experiments.
Hell of a failed investigation roll.
Don't worry, it's coming.
Oh, yeah. She hits me over the head with a chair and burns the city down on her way out. Oh, that's what you were planning, huh?
I don't know.
Did I yoink it from you? I check over, I look over my shoulder.
I'm there. No, you're fine. And I think at the bottom of the page, you see the reports have been signed. You see the file is signed by Doctors A. Morris and Dr. Q. Harker.
Okay, so, I mean, obviously my initial thought is going to be I should go either warn them or see if the lads, the team, if they know anything. That would be my initial sort of gut instinct.
To go talk to Journey and all of them, the crew.
I'm not saying that's what I want to do right now immediately, obviously, but I think that's the first thing that would pop into her head. Be like, at least I have a thread that I can follow. Even if it's via writing a letter. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Okay, she'll just kind of like hold up the papers and point at the other name and gesture at her and be like, is this you?
Yes. I'm Dr. Morris.
Can I check if she's lying? Or anything I can do?
I don't.
I guess
Yeah,
not.
there is a move for that in this game, but you wouldn't need that in this moment.
Okay. Interesting. Then do you know me?
Let's see. Oh, well, let's see. You have the cicada wings. Are you Palmer?
So that means that the two of them have communicated recently. So what about this Harker fellow?
What about him?
Is he not with you? Did he leave you for dead?
Well, we were both trying to jump out of a rip in time and space to escape your very scary friends. And only one of us made it.
So what, is he pulped, scattered to the wind?
Could be. I have no idea. So when are you going to let me go?
You really must not know a lot about us if you expect to go home.
Well, I know that your king seems to be one with some sort of morals, and I'm not your property or your citizen.
You kind of lost the right to be respected as your own individual entity when you trespassed and laid your hands on our people.
So what comes next?
It could very well depend on how cooperative you are. You can see around you how capable we are of keeping you alive and keeping you comfortable. So there would be no issue of morality if we just kept you here forever. As you said, my king has a sense of morals. I doubt that we will have you executed on the street as I initially would feel appropriate. But if you think that anything that you say here will have you walking free, then you were clearly in over your head.
I like you.
All right. Is there any other thing that you would like to volunteer willingly, or should I just not even waste my time?
Well, I'm in a position now where I no longer can expect to go home, and I can only make my life better or worse from this position.
You are intelligent, then.
Oh, I have a doctorate, sweetie.
You own a doctor?
Essentially. So, how about this? I want to make a deal. And that's your specialty, right? The Fae?
You seem to be working off of some outdated information. Deals are typically our modus operandi when we have something to benefit. You are saving your own skin. Why would I trust anything out of your mouth?
Because the things I have to say can help, well, keep you safe.
Because you care so much about our safety.
Well, it's in my best interest to think about your safety now, isn't it? Now that I'm part of your safety. If you get hurt, if something happens to the Feywild, then something happens to me, because this is where I live now.
What is your deal, then?
She just smiles. The organization that I suppose now I formerly worked for is called the Children of Lilith.
A name you are very much not. You have no right to call yourselves that.
It's aspirational. We know that the Fae proper are the true heirs of Lilith's power. And what many of us want more than anything in the world is to be better, to be more than just humans.
You want to be like us?
Have you seen yourselves? Beautiful, strong, powerful people.
God, she's like a weeaboo.
You live forever. Why wouldn't we want to be like you?
Like a fantasy weeaboo.
So, what I can offer is I can tell you what I know of what we've done. if you agree that I can continue some research and some work, supervised, of course, and perhaps make things easier for our people.
And that's your only condition, to be able to work.
Well, food and housing is nice.
You have no desire to be in contact with people on the outside?
The only people that would want to talk to me are people who want to subsume the position of my captors in this world. And I don't think that you would want that.
I think that's kind of all she needs. I don't think she's listen, my girl's lived a very long time. She knows, I think she knows when someone's gonna talk themselves in circles, or rather, like, she knows the type of person that is just good at talking and wants to hear their self-talk. Does that make sense? They want to hear their own voice. She's gotten the bullet point.
Yeah, you've
important
gained the information that you want to know.
Yeah, she's not the type of person to play nice and be like, keep doing the dance. She's not gonna keep it up. So she just she gives a nod. She takes the papers and she's gonna walk out.
I'll be seeing you.
We'll see about that. Enjoy your prison cell.
And the door slams. Yeah. Mar and Oberon can be out there, and Mar will come up and, well, what'd you find out?
Oh, what? It's not like a police station where there's invisible glass that they were just looking through the whole time.
I mean, I guess it could be, but I think it's more fun to. I think it's more fun for, instead of them to know, to see what you actually gleaned and have you communicate back to them.
Yeah, of course, you, the DM, would prefer that.
Yeah, man. If I wanted to know all the things and play a game where I know everything, I can go write a book.
But I say everything. No, he asked me, and I just kind of walk past him, and I don't really look up for my documents. And I'm like, yeah, you're gonna have to call in some cleaners. It's pretty gruesome in there.
What?
He peeks his head in.
Palmer, I can't open you. Palmer, I can't open the door. You're just getting further away.
he's rattling. Is Oberon not here? Where's
let's say that you walk back up the stairs to Oberon in his throne room.
Yeah, okay. In that case, yeah, I would approach him and I would just sort of repeat everything. I would repeat all of her blurbing. I think I would also, if you would allow me to generously include information that I myself don't remember, which is essentially what the other dude Harker is, my experience with him in the past. So just getting Oberon up to date with the events of the podcast that are relevant. And if there's any of that I need to know.
Well, if there's anything that you need to know, you can listen to the season 1 recap episode.
Oh my god. And then just to add on, from my personal opinion, it is not a good sign that she is so willing to change sides to save her own skin. To say that she is a realistic person who has accepted her current circumstances is generous, to say the least. I don't know that I would recommend taking this deal unless we have virtually no other way to gain information about this organization.
I think we see Oberon is standing at the edge of the balcony, just looking over the Feywild with his arms at his back.
King shit.
As you're doing king shit, as you're communicating this information to him. And he says, I understand. For now, it might be best that we split the difference. We don't kill her. We don't give her more of what she wants.
we keep her until some of our friends can give us some more information about what's going on.
I agree. I think taking her deal now would show her that we are desperate for information when we have not yet fully utilized everything that we have.
I agree. Palmer, I want you to assemble a team to be sent out into the human world.
A task force. A suicide squad.
Suicide squad. What is this? It's Mar. What is this? Some kind of suicide squad?
Oh no. That's someone from beyond the fourth wall shoots and the bullet lands squarely in all of our skulls.
Lined up perfectly between all three of them. All of them are dead. The Feywild is entirely...
passes through the fourth wall again and hits you and me.
We're all dead. The Feywild is in chaos.
Okay.
Our families mourn us.
You took it too far.
Hey, I'm Jason.
Would that team include me?
No, I have another job for you and for Mar.
Mark, quit trying to open the door. Get in here.
Mar!
He scurries in.
Yeah, Mar has made his way up the stairs and is like, Palmer, you know I can't. Oh, no. Here's him talking about a new mission, a new job for him to be assigned to.
Yeah, that's how she addresses him. Yeah. Go on.
I want you to assemble a team to be sent out to the human world. Have them look for anything that we know, any signs of anything to deal with these children. And also have them look for any information about a Cassandra Bridges.
Who is?
Cassandra is your friend Mordecai's mother.
Does that buffoon have something to do with all of this?
I don't know, but your friend asked a boon of me, and that's what he wished, and I like to keep my promises.
For us to find her?
To find her, to find out what happened.
I see. Does this take precedence over the children?
No, but while we have people in the field, then we might as well do two jobs at once.
I see.
What I want you and Mar,
and he looks over at Mar and Mar straightens up.
What I want you and Mar to do is I want you to go to the western end of the Feywild and go find your teacher and tell her what has happened. If she can, I would love for her to come back.
Okay, so what would this person have taught me in the past? What exactly is this character?
You, the player, would know that Palmer's teacher was Titania.
Tatiana?
Yes.
Is that not Oberon's wife?
Also, yes.
Oh no. Bro is asking me to call his ex-wife?
Also, yes.
Oh no.
I knew that this energy would play that way with you, and I was like, there's nothing that can be done.
She's like, this is honestly more frightening of a concept to her than anything else that we have talked to until now. But this is just me projecting, because I think it would be very funny if they had a poor relationship as exes.
Yeah.
If they're totally chill and whatever, then I'm creating a setting in the story that is not real. But
I haven't decided.
Okay, fair enough. I think regardless of maybe I don't even know. Maybe all I know is that they're supposed to be married, but it's weird that they're separated, and I would never dare to ask for more information. So this is anxiety central. So again, she's gonna be tiptoeing when she's gonna take a good minute to figure out how to approach this question, and then she will ask, do you expect her to be resistant to the idea of returning to the capital?
I don't think so, but she has been away for a long time.
The cold sweat breaks out.
And as much as I'm sure she enjoys her vacation, some of this might be more pressing.
And then when is the last time that my character would have interacted with this? Like, is this like adolescence? Is this before I had a position on the court? Like, what kind of teacher is this?
I think that this would be like until briefly after you had your position on the court. Probably the last time that you saw Tatiana was maybe 50 years before your exile.
Okay. So she was well and truly kind of. This is kind of like a university
for a while
in terms of like the overarching path of her life and career. This would have been like a young adult.
Yeah, like young life through university and like initial career, and now Tatiana's been on a multi-decade long sabbatical.
Sure. Okay. So let's just narrow this down. What would some of her skills include? Did she teach me combat, magic, court manner?
She taught you everything.
Sick. All right. Easy, simple, easy to remember. All right. Should I bring anything?
Is this to me, the GM?
No, to him. No, she's asking him. I think she does not have confidence that her going and being like, hey, you want to come back is gonna work. So I think she's kind of like floundering for any tools or resources that he is willing to give.
Yeah, I think what he does is he says, he looks you over and says, well, the West is cold, so both of you should bring jackets. And what he does is he reaches against his chest and touches his heart, and then waves his hand over both of you, and you are both engulfed in blue flames. And when the flames settle on you, you both have long coats where the hood is what would normally be like deeply furred, is a mane of blue fire that does not burn you, but does provide warmth.
Very nice. Very nice. I love me a costume change.
Costume change.
Also, I kind of always love when a show or a series has characters go into super cold, snowy areas. I don't know why. I've always found that really.
There are like a lot of aesthetic choices with that kind of concept that I think are very fun.
Probably my favorite part of Game of Thrones was just like characters in this like deep, like just barren, cold wilderness.
He is going to kind of lean into you and just tell you,
now, Palmer, I appreciate what you've done for us.
But you're banished again.
But you're banished again.
Get the fuck out.
Get out.
Thank you for going and doing this for me. I've been having visions of the forest burning. I want you to see Tatiana. If you can, bring her back. Perhaps with the three of us, our wisdom can lead us away from this.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, she just nods and gives whatever kind of salute would be appropriate here.
Thank you both. You can leave when you're ready.